Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is...
1 minute seems like it's taking a long time, so I don't want to take up too much of your time. So thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate you for saying yes. And also, I want to introduce the readers, the live audience, how I would introduce you, right? Okay, I met you through Reese. Shout out to Reese. Reese was on a book club discussing Hey Auntie. If y'all not familiar with Hey Auntie, I suggest y'all read it. That book is really, really good, right? That's how I was introduced you to. And then Miss Sherelle, shout out to the book reader venue. She had the signed copy of Salt and Pepper. I ain't gonna lie, because when she had it, she sold out within a couple of minutes. I was in my feelings because I had missed my copy. So when I went back, I looked on the website, it wasn't there. So I went back. When I went to the store, it was there. I said, let me grab this book. I think it was the last copy. I said, I got to make sure I get my signed copy of this book. I had bought it. I was not playing. And so that's how I would introduce you. So why don't you tell the readers, the ones who watching, about you and about you as the author, so what they could look from you, expect from you, far as going forward after this live.
Okay, well, I'm Author Jsin Graham from the DC area. Not quite born or raised, but definitely raised here for the most part. I've been writing for since I was old enough to talk, honestly. But my first published book was put out in 2018, collection of short stories called Unacceptable Behavior. From there, I kind of did a couple standalones, Hey Auntie and Say What You Mean, which was a follow-up that I got bullied into. But it is what it is. Like it came out well, and people seem to like it. So I've done a couple more things since then. Paranormal romance, Across the Bear, Salt and Pepper, as you stated. And I've done a couple more things after that, but we'll get into that once the questions get rolling. So I'm excited to be here and see what you got for me, and hopefully we got a good time coming.
Yeah, we gonna have a good time. You already know how I am. I know how you is. With that little hint, hint, and I be trying to get out of you, but I'm gonna get somebody to find out in a couple of weeks.
Now, if my signal get bad, don't say nothing.
I'm gonna be in your inbox too. I'm gonna be in your inbox too. Okay, now Salt and Pepper. We discussing Salt and Pepper, Boom and Nia, right? So,
Yep.
what inspired the story Boom and Nia, and what inspired Boom and Nia, and the title Salt and Pepper? What's Salt and Pepper mean? It's like when you think of it, you think of like a food season. So, what that mean for you as an author?
Okay, well, the idea for Salt and Pepper kind of was born out of I had just written Across the Bear, but prior to I did, like I said, Hey Auntie and Say What You Mean. That was like an age gap romance, and I wanted to do something. I'm a challenge writer, so sometimes that comes down to either challenging myself or somebody, whatever the landscape is kind of heavy into at that time, whatever genre that is. I'll sit there and think, can I do that? So I'll try it. And after writing a age gap with a younger MMC, I was pretty much determined to write an older MMC because it wouldn't be as taxing on my brain. Trying to put myself in the mindset of a 21-year-old man was a difficult task because I ain't seen 21 in a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
But that was the idea. So I came up with Salt and Pepper. Um, Without giving away too much, both characters they have similar backgrounds when it comes to love and relationships, similar but different at the same time. And I kind of viewed that the same with Salt and Pepper. Like they're both seasonings. They're kind of like your foundational seasons that you can use for whatever you want to use it for. Everybody can relate to it. Everybody uses it. Everybody has it. And then of course I was doing a little play on words because they're an older couple with Boone being 50 and Nia being 42. So that's the general gist of it.
Okay, that's good. That's what's up. That's what's up. Okay, so did a character come to you fully, or did they receive? Are they involved as you wrote the story?
Um, Kind of both. Boom was he appears in Say What You Mean. That's the first time anybody ever sees him on page. So I kind of had a really rough idea of what kind of man he is. Kind of the strong, silent type, but when he does speak, when he does move, when he takes action, everybody notices because he has a booming voice. He has a booming presence, even though he's not an overly large man. But everybody kind of stops whatever they're doing whenever he actually does say something in a crowd of
Yeah.
people. So Boom kind of came pretty much ready to go. Nia was a little different. I had a decent idea of where I wanted to go with her. But the story kind of allowed me to unfold her as I kept writing.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, now this question I gotta ask you because let me find out what my question is. Hold on. Okay, where you come up with? Why you came up with Magnificent? Because when I read it, when I read Magnificent, I feel like, hold up, now. I know I heard about Magnificent. Why is he talking about the Disney villain Magnificent? I say, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And as I got into the book, I said, okay, I kind of see why. So, what
Uh-huh.
made you come up with that? Because it was funny, but it also carried weight. And what the
Right.
label meant to stabilize her toxic, damaging their relationship was, or more about Boone's personal perspective and how he processed the past, especially with the ex-wife.
Yep. Um. Well, I guess I wanted to find the perfect way to make a man like Boom basically pick up and restart his life. So it had to be something that was traumatic enough relationship wise, where he couldn't just stay still in one place and kind of restart. He needed to. I wanted to relocate him. I wanted to write him in a locale that was different from the DC area because I like to branch out that way and show different regions love on page. And I just needed a reason. Like I needed something that where it was like, what woman would be able to push a man like that, who's that stand up out of his comfort zone and force him to leave? She
Yeah.
needed to be a bottom barrel, nasty, like gaslighting type of individual. So that's how it happened. And I just wanted to interject a little fun with it too, without naming her Maleficent. So that's where that came from.
Okay. Cause I like when I read, I'm like magnificent. I said, hold on, I'm about to start using that. Start telling people, okay, magnificent. Okay, I'm about to start using that as the person who irritates me. Okay, magnificent. Hopefully that catch my drill. Okay, so both connection to Nia felt immediate and intentional, right? So like something in him recognized her before he even understood it. Cause when he said, I always got you. And it feel bigger than the attraction, but what they rooted in who Boom is at the core, and also, or did his bond with Johnny shape how he showed up for her in that moment?
That's a good question. Um, I think when I was writing that scene, I was kind of going back and forth on how I wanted him to feel, still as he's reeling from his previous relationship. Right? He was a stand up guy. Was married for 19 years. He thought he was with his person, and then he basically got broken down to the studs. Um,
Yeah,
I think what it was is that when he relocated to Houston, my idea was no relationships, no friendships, none of that, because that's he was that level of being burned by his long term friend and his ex wife. Um, he kind of saw the possibility of what could be with her,
yeah,
and he hadn't leaned into it just yet. It hadn't quite terrified him just yet, but it's almost like he could see like an aura around her. It was like, I got you as though you're already my wife. He wasn't thinking that way, that
yeah,
you're gonna be my wife. It wasn't quite that deep, but it was. I think that was his first sign of seeing, yeah, that love and attentiveness that I have for my mate, my special person. I see it in her. I don't know where it came from, but I'm not gonna fight it. I always got you. Like he didn't even think about it. It was knee jerk. It just kind of happened.
yeah. Okay. Kaylee asked what the book title. The book title is Salt and Pepper by Jason Graham. That's the name of the title of the book. Okay, so I could definitely see that 'cause when I was reading Boom, and like after that situation with his ex-wife and his best friend situation, I could see him being very hardcore, like he wasn't trying to find nobody.
Mm.
But like you stated, when he saw her, it like he saw something different. You know what I
Yep.
mean? It like he was kind of scared at the same time, but he want to go all the way there with her. But he's like, okay, let me just see what it is. But I feel like with his best friend Johnny, he's like, okay, well I know Johnny, but Johnny could have called anybody in that friend group, but he
Right.
didn't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But he chose him because he know that he know that he gonna make sure that she's good, that she's safe. You know, that's one thing I like about it. And that was a good concept, boom. Cause I was like, okay, boom, you falling for her. You just ain't saying it. You just, being like, okay, I'm not trying to, I
Yeah.
definitely, I definitely like that about Johnny. Okay. I mean, by, boom. Now, Johnny protecting this over Nia really stood out for me because it felt real and also layered. Was that it something he always had towards her, or did a pact with Shaq intensify how he showed up for her in a sense?
Yeah, the bad thing about when I'm writing, authors go through various drafts of their projects, right? So it could have absolutely got lost in translation, but I believe I mentioned it briefly in the final draft. They've been friends since like elementary school, pre-K.
Yeah.
And Johnny's a big guy. Johnny's like 6'4", 6'5". Nia's, tall for a woman, but we're talking about 6'5" versus. So he's kind of always been kind of protective over her, and vice versa. She does the same for him. So he kind of always has that big brother vibe where nobody's good enough for his little sister, basically. Um, and that's kind of how the rate of that kind of unfolded. They kind of have a natural safeguarding in place for both of them, and that's what it was. Like he didn't really trust a whole bunch of people around him. He hated everything about Shaq because he could see him for what he was. He was
Yeah.
he was kind of always been like that. They went to college together, so he knows who Shaq is. He'd been doing this girl wrong, and she just can't let it go. So that was basically the emphasis of that.
Okay. I'm gonna say this. One thing I like about their friendship is that sometimes the saying say, men and women can't be friends at all without any sexual attraction. But I like the fact that how you wrote their story because you can see true friends can be good friends without the physical and emotional attraction. You know what I mean? It's not, you don't see that very often because you can
Right.
tell the bond is really, really tight. So, but one of the friends have a wife. I guess she don't trust him for whatever reason.
Yeah,
I'm like,
nobody.
girl.
Yeah.
I'm like, really, lady? I'm like, you can't call here because she gonna go off. She gonna go right with him. I'm like, that's too much for me. I'm like, she doing too much for me. And I'm not, nah, no ma'am. That's because there must be going on in their little relationship, and I need to find out what's going on. Okay. Okay, there's an interesting contrast in how Boone and Nia respond to pain, right? Boone pulled back, but he stayed present. But when it comes to Nia, she kind of fully shut down in a sense
hmm
and distanced herself, right? So when Nia learned the truth about Shaq and her mother's silence, was her reaction more about past relationship trauma resurfacing or the shock of realizing someone that she truly trusted, her own mother, kept her in the dark?
I want to say at that point she was starting to finally let her walls down with Boone. And I think it was more of an introspective thing. Like it's part trauma, part introspection. Like she started to see what could be with Boom. She started to stop fighting it. And in order to do that, she wanted to make sure she didn't make the same mistakes that she made with Shaq for over the span of off and on for 20 years. So she wanted to know what it was. She needed closure. And full transparency, Nia was kind of crafted off of a few conversations I've had with women in the past who are beholden to needing, or at least they feel as though they need closure in
Yeah,
relationships. And I'm always the guy that's like, but we don't necessarily need it if it was never good to begin with. You just
yeah,
want
yeah,
closure. You just want that special defining moment that closes the door officially. That's not realistic. Sometimes that's more harm. That does more harm than good. So that was the reason she wanted to know what it was. She was definitely was hurt. She
yeah.
felt lied to. He'd been here the whole time. But on top of that, she wanted to know what the disconnect was with them, so she wouldn't do it again.
Yeah. I could definitely, as I read that scene, I'm like, okay, girl, why are you tripping? Cause I mean, he been lying to you all this time, and
Yeah.
then like when the incident happened, and when Boone found out what happened at a place, right? He
Mhm.
came to a rescue, and then he all of a sudden he show up, and you could tell the dynamic with Boone kind of changed because he was like, okay, well, I thought we had something going on. Then you
Right.
hug up on somebody else. So what's with that? But I feel like with Nia, I understand she want closure. Like some people want closure. For me, if I don't get the closure, that's fine. Everybody handle things differently when it comes to relationship and stuff like that. But I'm like, what you need closure for in a relationship ain't all that great anyway. In the first
Right.
place, like what are you thinking? You know what I mean? what you hoping to get? Cause me, you're not gonna get no resolution out of it. Cause me,
Mhm.
I ain't got time for that. I'm just gonna block it, go about my business. I'm not looking for no closure. Cause if anybody ever be with me, don't look for no closure out of me, cause you ain't gonna get it.
Listen, I'm with you 100%.
And you ain't getting no closure out of me. For what? What we closing on? Like, you ain't got nothing to cut. This is how I feel. Let me keep it moving. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, that was answer the question. Okay. Which character in Salt and Pepper had you like, yeah, they doing too much while you inviting them?
Ooh. A bit character. The wife of one of the friends from the friend group.
Oh,
The one
yeah,
that was looking at everybody crazy and
yeah.
wondering why people are there, why people still her. Absolutely. Even though we only saw her on page like for a hot second,
Yeah.
I wrote her that ridiculous on purpose. And I've absolutely been in situations in real life with
Okay.
spouses or best friend or I'm sorry, significant others of people who we kind of all hanging out with in a big group, and you could just tell their energy is very overprotective, overly non-trusting, and it's like you
Yeah.
bringing the energy down, man. Like you doing a lot. Like we all good over here, but you doing the most. So
Yeah.
absolutely, I said it was her.
Yeah, yeah, I could definitely see that because I'm like, even though like you said she was on the paper hot second, after I found out what they said about, her, I'm like, really, girl? Like, I mean, they've been friends all this time, and he never gave you any doubt in your relationship. Why
Right.
when you just, you know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, well, okay. I just like, but let me keep reading it through it because I don't think she's gonna be on there too much longer. So let me keep it moving. Okay. Um. Cause what emotion or message do you hope the readers take away from Boom and Nia journey?
Mm. Come on, Faye, with the questions, man. Come on.
You know I'm gonna come through with the question now.
I
I
see. I see. What emotion? What feeling? I think for Nia, especially when you're talking about romance, and the great majority of the readers are women. I think I want them to come away thinking that you can be your own worst enemy sometimes as far as blocking your own blessing. So, then there's the age old adage, excuse me. That's like when people show you who they are, believe them, right?
Yeah,
And the
yeah,
reason that she was having this issue with Shaq for so long is because he had been wishy-washy for years. That's why none of her closest friends liked him. Johnny couldn't stand him. Blake couldn't stand him. And there were her closer friends. So it's like it's not like they're just being petty. They see him for who he is, and they don't like the way he's treating you. So it's like at the end of the day, if opportunity presents itself, and it's a good chance for something to be special, and your only hindrance is holding on to something from the past just because it feels natural or feels like something that you're used to. Hey man, you gotta learn when to cut your losses, especially when that never fed you in the first place. So I think that's where I am as far as the women readers. For the men, um, I'm gonna say that the importance of therapy, right? Because my
yeah,
boy, you can't. It's kind of hard to find a betrayal as severe as that one. Your wife and your long term best friend and business partner. That's kind of crazy. So he kind of self
yeah,
medicated at the beginning of the book, but he doesn't have his aha moment till near the end with an actual sit down therapist on page. And I want people to come away with understanding that sometimes you have to step outside to get the necessary help needed to take care of whatever's slowing you down from being happy in the long run. So I'd say that's probably the best way I can answer that question.
okay. I'm telling you, if you see me looking to the side, my dog quiet me. I'm trying to get be quiet. Okay, well, let me ask you this. I see some couple of questions in the chat. So, Inez Moon asked, "Is this book on blackshelf.com? Do you know what the Black Shelf is?"
I do. I actually met somebody at BRBF who was a representative from the Black Shelf.
Yeah,
It's just been kind of a rough week trying to get back to normalcy on this end after traveling for back-to-back weekends. So it's on my to-do list to take a closer look at the Black Shelf, exactly what it is, what it offers, how it is helping authors. And once I got a firmer grasp on it, odds are great it'll probably end up there.
Yeah, you definitely need to be added because people in the comments say that you need to be added. I'm saying it because I'm an ambassador for the Black Shield. So you
Okay.
definitely need to be on it because that way, like really like myself can find you, you know what I'm saying? And get to know you as an author, you know what I'm saying? It will give
Sure.
you a more uh I'm trying
Visibility.
yeah, get more readers attached to your work. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Even though I feel like you're an indie author, but I still feel like you still need to be seen. So the Black Shelf is the place to be at. So make
Okay.
sure you sign up because I'm gonna be in your inbox. Like I'm gonna email you like, hey, did you sign up? 'Cause you know me, I'm gonna be in your
Yeah, I
inbox.
do. I do. And I appreciate it.
So you yeah, okay. So let's get into it. Okay, the real question. Let's get into you as an author.
Okay.
Okay, a real question. What made you say I'm going to be an author, and who inspired that move?
Whew. How much time you got? Hold on. No, let's see if I can do you the short and dirty version. I had, like I said, I've been writing since I was a kid. I was a poet through college and after college. And I had a good friend of mine, rest in peace, who was part of this social club I was in years ago. And there was like writing prompts inside of the club. So it was like kind of a, kind of you take a shot, you get these words, get these topics, and we were kind of writing news stories off of it, fictional news stories, but with like a comedic or entertaining type of angle. It started getting good to me a little bit. Fast forward a couple years, there was an opportunity to be a part of an anthology. I won't name that anthology. I won't name who put on that anthology. But the short version is I wrote what I felt was a pretty good story, short story. They came back and told me it wasn't good enough. It wasn't for them for what they was looking for. The tone was a little different than that, but I took it a certain kind of way. It is what it is. I came and talked to my homie about it, and she said, "Why don't you put your own book together?" And ultimately, that's what happened. I took that story along with 12 others, and that became Unacceptable Behavior. And that was my first book. And once that happened, I got the bug. And it was like, all right, what am I going to do next? And they just been flowing since then.
Hey, that's good. 'Cause like I always say, when one door closes, another one always opens. So that's how I'm a big believer in that. So
That's it.
I definitely a big believer in that. Because what may not be for them is might be for somebody else.
That's it.
Don't always
100%. You're right.
don't get discouraged. That's how I always believe. I believe in it. Do not get discouraged by none of that. Okay, so okay, let me ask you this now. Where everybody can find you. What the summer look like for you? Are we outside? Are we just in author mode? What we doing?
Where you can find me, I am the Jason Graham on all socials that I have an account on. Just the word the and Jason, which is spelled Jsin Graham. The Jason Graham on social media. My website is jasongraham.com. No for those who want to follow me there. Am I outside? I am not, man. I actually just got back home, so I did back to back events, Chocolate City Lit Fest, which was in April, and then at Black Romance, which was a week ago in May. So I'm actually at the moment I'm inside for the foreseeable future. I am just signed up to do an event in the Baltimore area in December with author Turtleberry. Shout out to her. But other than that, man, I'm chilling. I'm
So you
chilling. I'm
just chill.
inside
Okay.
trying to recoup, evaluate best business practices for what I did for these two events, what worked, what didn't work, and getting back to this writing, put some more words on the page, see what's happening next.
Yeah, that's definitely what's up. And also, I did see that some of the people had exclusive at the Black Romance because I was a part of it. So you didn't tell me and let me know nothing. I had to find out like everybody else. I said, no, wait a minute. He just gonna do me dirty and give them exclusive. I got a pre. I said, oh no, he didn't. So I gotta come at you with that. So tell us about your exclusive satisfaction, because I know that's one of your new recent release. It's
Yep.
also inspired by the book event. So can you give us a little details about that? And it's also on Kindle Unlimited, y'all. So make sure y'all check it out. Make sure you read Salt and Pepper first. And Hey Auntie
For sure.
series and any other book that he have on there. So I'm gonna get to the other question that we might be dying to know. So I'm sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Pre-order satisfaction. It was a fun project. It's a passion project. I had never done any book events until this year. So I did back to back, one in April, which was here at home in DC, and then BRBF. And it really is. I was wrote it as a thank you to the readers, the social clubs, the book clubs, content creators. Like I will say 2025 was probably my best year that I've had from a visibility standpoint. And I think I was inspired by that. I feel like I wouldn't have had the opportunity to do these two back-to-back book events if it wasn't for 2025. The love I got from the Houston community with Salt and Pepper, man, let me explain something to you. Me and Houston locked in forever. I ain't been there before outside of connecting flights for travel. But
Yeah.
I had like back-to-back great opportunities to talk to social clubs and book clubs in Houston. Shout out to Bespoke Book Club, and I believe it was a TP Social Club that Reese threw
Yeah,
together. That was
yeah.
my first one. And that kind of kicked it off, man. Shout out to Kirby Katie, who has bigged up my stuff, which I'm very appreciative of. So I was like, let me put something together for the book event. So pre-order satisfaction takes place at a Black Romance Book Festival. You got the MMC is not a book person at all. He's there as an assistant to his coworker who's an author, and the FMC is a volunteer. They see
Okay.
each other, and the FMC looks like her favorite book bag, like identical. So sparks fly from there. That's it. It's all high heat. It's high heat. It's quick. It's 7 chapters. It's all heat.
That's good. That's good. 'Cause I'll definitely be tapping in. So, I'm going to be requesting you to come back so we can talk about that. Because it's a book
Okay.
event season and people want to get into the know what's up. Okay, now this is my question. So, you already know I already asked you about this, but where people, the readers who want signed copy, how do they go about that? Because I remember the last time we had talked, long time ago, you had told us that you really wasn't doing it. So, are you doing it this time, or how can we really get the signed copy besides going to the book reader venue in Humboldt, Texas for.
Shout out to the book readers venue in Humboldt, Texas. Yeah.
Yes.
Honestly, in full transparency, man. When it comes to this book thing, I am the worst business person in the history of ever. You hear me? Because at the end of the day, I'm a creative. And right now, all my creativity is being poured into my writing. I like to put the words on the page, put the book out, people read the book, move on. Right. So as far as like
Yeah.
housing copies of the book and having them so I can sign them and push them out to people who might want them, could it happen eventually? It absolutely could happen eventually. At the moment, I don't have it on my to-do list, but if enough people get in my ear, I guess I'm gonna have to figure it out, reach out to some people, see how I'm gonna make it work and do what it do. But short answer, at the moment, there is no opportunity for signed copies at the moment, but that could change instantly. So
Yeah, yeah,
I
cause
don't know.
we gonna need some signed copies, okay? Cause I know the book girlies and the book guys want a signed copy of your book. I definitely understand it, but you can always send it to the book reader venue, okay? And hit up Miss Joelle and tell her, hey, I need to put my books in store. Cause I'm telling you, Salt and Pepper went by so fast. She had
She
posted
told
it, and
me.
next thing I knew, it was gone. I'm like,
Yeah,
man.
she
I
told
missed
me.
it too late, but when I saw that push, like I said, I grabbed it so fast. I said, okay, this is a side cop. I said, I grabbed it so fast. I was not playing no game. So if you ever do, I'm gonna talk to Miss Sherelle. I have to talk to her too. Let me talk to her. Tell her she need to get in your inbox so we get some signed copy. At least I know you would send it to her. You may not send it. I'm sorry, y'all. He may not send it to y'all, but he might send it to the book reader venue.
Yeah, that's different, man.
Okay.
That's a brick and mortar. So that was a great
Yeah.
opportunity that Reese also set up. So shout out to Reese again.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's different. That's like, they requested the copies. I sent a bunch of copies down there. That's way out the way. I'm done. I'm done from
Yeah.
a business
Yeah.
standpoint. I ain't gotta do no more. But as
Yeah.
far as like
Yeah.
keeping them in here, man, I don't know, man. We gotta see what happens.
Okay. So, the bonus question. This is the last question that we gonna have for the night. Okay, so are we gonna see any salt and pepper character pop up in anything else or in the future?
Yes.
Can you
You
tell
want
us who?
more information on
Yes, I want more information because we need more information, especially me. Cause I
that?
read the book. I think the people that commented they haven't read it yet. So
I
give
can
me a
say
little
this,
hint,
and listen, I
hint.
mean, it's not like it's a secret. I don't know. I don't know if people really know about it. In December of last year, I released a project called H Town for the Holidays. It was 3 interconnected stories that kind of involve people from my universe so far. So David Marcus and Liza was in there. Boom and Nia were in there. and Johnny was in there. Johnny had his own story. So as of right now, I have a couple stories that's ready to go that I'm starting to open up a document on and start to brainstorm on. Johnny is probably the next person to get a book. Will that be the next book that I put out? I don't know, but I definitely will be. He definitely is he's in my brain, and he's starting to talk real loud, and his
Yeah, I'm
FAQ
gonna
is
ask
talking
you.
real loud. So that's the answer to that question. You'll see Boom and them also getting that book, obviously, but Johnny's getting his own book.
Okay, because I was going to ask you about Johnny, because that's one of the characters, because especially towards the end, because I don't want to give it away for the people who haven't read it. Especially that situation, I'm like, okay, I wonder if we're going to get a book. So, yeah, because I'm glad Johnny picked a teacher. Tell Johnny he needs to speak louder so you can release that book, okay? Tell him I'm going to need him to speak
Hey,
louder to you, okay? I want to know about that situation. When I read it, I'm like, it's like another little good book in the making. Okay, so, Kay, we have a question. Say, what book do they start with?
got to start with Hey Auntie. Got to
Got to
start
start with
there.
Hey Auntie.
I got a similar question at BRBF. I say, hey, Auntie, for one, it's short, so it's not a time commitment, but you'll get that's probably the best place to start because one, you get a feel for how I write. That's more of an erotica, so you get a feeling for how I write intimacy, but more importantly, you also see how I write family characters and the family dynamic between um, whichever MC I'm involving more family speak with. There's a lot of that in there because it takes place over Thanksgiving. So I definitely would say start with Hey Auntie. It only makes sense because Say What You Mean comes after that. Boom Pierce here, and we got Salt and Pepper from that. So Hey Auntie, short answer.
Okay. So, well, let me ask you this. Okay, we have Hey Auntie, and what's the second part of Hey Auntie? Because there are two series to Hey Auntie, right?
Yep. Hey
Okay.
Auntie, and then there's Say What You Mean.
Yeah, say what you mean. Okay. And then you have a paranormal romance, but it's
I
just kind of
do.
like a short story. So are you planning on doing any more paranormal romance, or
I
that just one and
am.
done?
You know what? I was surprised when I was at BRBF. I had somebody come to my table specifically looking for Across the Bear, which I was kind of surprised by. Like it's
Yeah.
my favorite book that I ever wrote because of what I had to do to make it happen. Um, but somebody said that that's how they were introduced to me was Across the Bear, and they were that no, they said reading Across the Bear was their introduction to paranormal romance.
Okay,
And I was
gotcha.
like, whoa, like
Yeah.
that's a heavy thing you just laid on me. Um, I do have something that I'm thinking about. They haven't started talking real loud yet, but I do have an idea that I threw like a short story together years ago. I'm gonna go back and revisit it, dust it off, polish it up, and see where we can go with it. Those will be vampires, FYI, for those who are curious.
Okay. So this is gonna be my last final question before we go.
Ooh.
Okay. Salt and Pepper was a little bit thick, right? So I know you used to writing short novella, like really short novella. So are you ever planning on writing a thicker book, or you just gonna stick with shortly novella?
That's a good question. You know what? I think both because there are people who read novellas like exclusively. Um, but sometimes, like with Salt and Pepper, and when you get down and start writing, if you're gonna tell a fully fleshed out story, you can't do that in a novella.
Yeah.
Some people can because they're just excellent writers. For the readers that are on the live, writing a novella is not easy because you have to, no matter what's happening, you got to tell the story and make it make sense, connect all the dots. 20, 35,000 words, which can be difficult. But I see myself doing Salt and Pepper probably be like the high end. I don't know if I bigger than that because I think
Okay.
that story was it did what I wanted to do in that amount of pages. I think is my sweet spot. So that it'll kind of be both. I'll do some novellas and novels moving forward, mixing a novelette here and there, maybe a short story, but kind of doing both.
Okay, that'd be good because some people just enough. It's enough pages, especially for you because I know you known for like short novella. You know what I'm saying? When you vote for the when I saw how thick it was, I thought, oh, you want a thick book? I said, okay. I said, okay. Let me see what this is about. So I'm glad I read it. I'm glad I enjoyed it. So before I end the live, let me ask anybody in the audience, do y'all have any questions for Jsin Graham that you want me to ask or anything? So please let me know right now. I'm going to give y'all a couple of minutes. So let me know if y'all have any question that y'all want me to ask. K-Ree said that she added your story to her Kindle, so she said she can't wait to read them. Let me see.
Appreciate you.
Let me see. Inez says you definitely should be on a black ship, as of course.
Okay.
Sweet Reed said she just thankful for you being here and spreading his stories. I mean, spreading your stories with us. Yeah. After I read Salt and Pepper, y'all, I had to ask him. Okay, listen. Hey, if y'all have not read Hey Auntie, y'all definitely need to read Hey Auntie. Or we gotta come back for Hey Auntie.
Okay.
We definitely gotta come
Let's see
back
if
for
I
Hey
can
Auntie.
remember it, man. That was a while ago, but you know, we'll
I
make
know,
something.
but you know, I'm gonna send you the questions so you can be prepared.
You're right. And
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna need
send.
them too.
I'm definitely gonna send you the question. Yeah, so I probably might do the two books, but we'll discuss that. You know, we'll discuss that.
Yeah, just let me know.
Cause I definitely will. So I don't have any other question on my end, but I really appreciate you for joining me, Jsin. Thank you so much for being my first guest of the month. So he'll definitely be back, y'all. So we'll talk later. I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna send you an email.
All right, that works.
Okay. Have a good night and good weekend. Bye.
Same to you. Peace.